Good, everyone. Uncle Phil here. Hopefully, this message finds you in great health. May this video find you in a positive, uplifting headspace. Now, mind you, it's 5 in the morning. I'm still up. Uncle Phil has has plethora of things that he is preparing for. Like a little bit of that, maybe a little bit of this, maybe. But in any case, today I would like to address the elephant in the room, right? And ladies and gentlemen, I know my videos can be long-winded. That's just me. I know my videos can be slightly controversial, but that's just me, you know. And I can only be me. I can only be true to who I am. So this is me, Uncle Phil. Welcome. So first things first, I greatly appreciate my subscribers, those who find interest in what I have to say, and my level of transparency. Zara B, I appreciate that. Much love and prosperity to you. So here's here's a particular topic that it hits home for even Uncle Phil, and that is addressing modern women. And my message, let me just say this, as a man who loves women, melanated women, I don't know, y'all. I just, growing up in the South and having, having that Southern hospitality, and growing up in the country and being amongst girls and women around me that made me fall in love with them and have such a protective attitude and mindset towards them. It's like I miss those times, you know what I'm saying? I miss those times that women held themselves and each other to a higher standard, and it was done in a respectful way. Zara, you're in Liverpool, England, where the Beatles are from. Oh, that's love. That's love. I appreciate your honesty and genuine, heartfelt thoughts. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Um, yeah, I've always I've always had a love for women, you know. Women are beautiful. Women are astronomically incredible in your own unique way. And, you know, I'm honest, I grew up in a household where it was just me and my two older brothers. Of course, yeah, I'm the baby, I'm the youngest. And, it was just my mom and us three. My mother, she's been married twice. Her second marriage, my stepfather, he passed away. Um, and I must have been about 7 or 8. And when I tell you life experience teaches you how to appreciate wonderful people and love them and want to protect them. I witnessed my stepfather put his hands on my mom and not really understanding what was going on. That stuck with me from 7 years old up until, shoot, you might as well say 40 years because I'm 47 now. And I never portray myself as perfect because I've made mistakes and I've done things. And when I tell you, when you mistreat a woman and you abuse her, as a man, it has a tendency to eat away not only at your heart, but at your conscience. And when I witnessed my mom get hit, I became very protective of her. Just like any child would, or any son would be protective over his mom. And, over time, I grew and developed this thought process that the next man that puts his hands on my mom, I'm putting him in the dirt. Literally. I don't care how he goes or what I do to him. It was just like that was my mindset. I had to protect my mom. My mom became the first woman that I ever had an extensive love for, an unconditional love for. Because it's like, regardless of what mom may say or do, deep down inside, us as men, we develop this love for our mother, for our mothers that is so strong that it carries over into the next relationship that we develop with another woman that's around our age, of course. But it was like my mother, she never married again after that. And then I started learning certain actions and behaviors that I didn't necessarily agree with. I didn't appreciate, but I understood, for a woman at a young age, if you're not shown how a woman should be loved and how a woman should be protected, you will truly never understand how a man is to, you really couldn't recognize a man loving you and not wanting to hurt you, not wanting to take advantage of you. But anyway, let me stop rambling off. You know, it's today in today's society with modern women, especially women here in America, it's scary. The dating pool is so scary, y'all. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's very scary. Um, Once I moved to Atlanta, I realized I could not be that that gentleman that I was raised up to be. Opening doors for women, pulling out chairs for women, being polite, respectful towards women, y- you know, taking a woman out, presenting flowers, showing genuine interest. Because, heck, if it wasn't for my woman that's in here now, Uncle Phil wouldn't even be out there in the dating pool. I wouldn't. I would just be more focused on me, treating myself, being good to myself. Because when I tell y'all, for women, the going out and being able to have options and get this guy or that guy, women can do that. Us men, we can't do that, because there are too many stipulations, there are too many restrictions on great men like myself, you know. And what I've learned is you can't always be the man that you were created to be, because not all women are going to be drawn to it. I mean, I ain't even gonna front. I'm 47 years old, no kids. Um, I would have had a child, but my my ex, who was my lady at the time, she had she had a miscarriage. So that stuck with me. That weighed heavy on me, you know. Um, but ever since then, I never had, never went that route again. Why? You know, you just don't want to settle for the wrong woman, you know? And for me as a man, I didn't want to get involved with the wrong woman. And then she had my child, and then I had to deal with going through the process of, oh, I want to see my child, I want to spend time with my child, but we don't have the best relationship. And I've had close situations like that. But I've been called weird because I didn't have kids. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm just like, weird because I don't have kids? Because I'm not willing to go out here and drop my seed in this woman and that woman and have kids all over the place. I was like, believe me, Uncle Phil actually wanted to have 2 or 3 kids. That was my that was my that was the goal. By 30, I would have my first kid. And then it was like, as time progressed on, it was just like the caliber, the character of women that I came across. I was just like, I didn't want to have, I just didn't want to have a child with them, you know. But being called weird because you don't have kids is strange. But I was like, I don't give a fuck. I was just, I'm, I just wasn't one of those guys. But when I tell you, being a gentleman is hard. It really is. And being a man that is attracted, attracted to women, but you can't be a gentleman because if you're being a gentleman, then some women tend to take your kindness for a weakness. They think they know you, but they really don't know you. They don't want to see that side of you when they call themselves to be testing you. See, here's the thing. Don't test a man. Don't test him. And I'm just one of those men. I'm like, don't test me. I'm not in college anymore. I was like, if you want a real genuine man, you're looking at it. Like, don't get caught up in the outer exterior. Oh, what's that in his head? And why he looking this way? And why is he carrying himself in that manner and that manner? It's like, it's because I can. It's because as a man, I love myself. I'm comfortable in my own skin. And what I do and what I say is not for clickbait, it's not for the attention, but it's to share with the rest of the world, hey, this man is unique. People have told me that I was strange, that, I'm weird. And I used to be offended by that, but now I'm just like, I welcome it because I do a lot of things that that are entirely different than the average man. I believe in holding not only men accountable for their actions and behaviors, but I believe in holding women accountable. And that's not to say that, oh, I don't like women. That's something else that I really couldn't stand is when you're being vocal about your likes and dislikes, mofos want to put labels on you. Like, I I don't I don't get it. I don't get it. It's so many issues that American women have with men. Like what I mean, I'll give you an example, right? I apologize for being long-winded. But I'll give you an example, right? So here's one. I did a short video clip about a woman having a discussion about matriarchy, right? And being in a society where there are no men, no men, it's just women. Now, I don't know about you, but what woman wants to exist in a society where there are no men? Let me know where I'm like, Zara, if there are men, if there are women in your country, over in Liverpool, are women in Liverpool actually saying this, having conversations about, oh, the society would be so much better if men wasn't here. Like, if men were not here or men did not exist, then women wouldn't exist. Like, how would women continue producing life without a man? Without a man, without a man's existence, without a man's, seed, his sperm. It's like, and it was weird because these types of conversations were circulating around in the melanated community amongst black women. And I'm sitting up here, I'm thinking to myself, like, what, huh? I was like, us men, when men are, when we are amongst ourselves and we're in a barbershop or wherever we are, we don't have conversations about, hey, what would society be without women? Just us bros here. Men, we never, ever, ever had that conversation. We never had a conversation. You know why? It's because a lot of us men, we love women. We're not in love with other men. Now, if you are, that's your prerogative. But I'm referring to heterosexual males, men who are in love with women. We never had that conversation about a society existing with just only men. How are we going to continue our existence if women are not here to give birth? Like, I don't believe it. It has to be like a high percentage of fluoride in the water here in America that has completely dulled this gray mass of a brain in some women. Like, you really don't think about that. And it is like, I get it. You know, you I live in a reality where I can be honest and I can be transparent. I know there are a lot of guys that are jerks, that are abusers, that are, they just do not know how to love, honor, and protect a woman. Because I believe when you love, you honor, and you protect a woman, if she's the right woman for you, she's going to reciprocate that same energy. She's going to protect, love, and be that helpmate that we need, so we can establish our empire and create generational wealth. But I was like, boy, not in today's society, not here in America. I don't know about anywhere else, but I know here in America that is sad. It's sad. I've never, it's embarrassing and it's hurtful to hear other women having conversations about men, black men for one, but just men in general just not existing. I was like, where did this come from? Like, do you like when ladies, do you really hate men so much that you really want us gone? I'm like, damn, I know we're not perfect. I know we're flawed, but damn, shawty. And this whole narrative about, oh, uh uh if uh the uh man versus the bear, like women out here saying, oh, I'd rather be with the bear than the man, because I know with the man he only wants one thing. And I was like, the fuck you think the bear's going to do? The hell you think the bear's going to do? The bear is not going to cuddle with you. Hell, the bear isn't even going to protect you. If anything, the bear would look at you, see you as a threat, or maybe even food, and maul the shit out of you. Like, I have not came across one damn bear that says, "Oh, if your man don't want you, I want you." Ain't no big. I was like, come on. I was like, stop. Like, Come on. Can we actually think about this thoroughly? And that's something else that I have an issue with when it comes to modern women. Your education. I don't knock a woman who has a degree. I don't, because I don't have a degree. I don't have a degree, but I work for myself. But here's the thing. Even if I did have a degree, I would not use my degree to make someone else feel small. I feel personally that's childish. Because even though I have a business of my own, I'm not going to use my business to minimize the next woman. Like, who does that? Who does that? I'm not a child. We're not kids. And it just, I hear that more and more with melanated women here in America. First thing they want to run to is, oh, I have a degree. You know, I got this and I got that. Da, 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 da. And it's funny because with us men, we don't care. We're happy that you went to college and you acquired this degree and this, that, and the fifth. It's like, I'm happy for you. That tells me that, hey, I can have you potentially in my kingdom and we can build together. But if you hit me over your head with your degree, oh, or you kind of looking down your nose at me and other men, that's where you got life fucked up. Because men, we don't care about your degree. We're happy that you have it. But I realize that just because you have a degree does not equate to you having the best common sense. It does not equate to you having sound logic and reasoning and being capable to take your emotions out of a situation and think logically and just be reasonable. I was like, boy, I tell you, because I mean, I've had challenging conversations with women and I ended up being called gay. I've been told that I hate black women. And it's funny because I tell folks, I was like, I don't hate melanated women. I just dislike a lot of negative actions and behaviors of a lot of melanated women. That's it. It doesn't, and here's the part that really throws me. You can hear me say it, and then a week later, you'll hear another woman or other women taking exactly what I'm saying and twisting it up, taking it out of context. And I'm sitting up here, I'm just like, I didn't say that. I I really didn't say that. Oh, you hate black women. You know, if I hated black women, I wouldn't talk about black women. I wouldn't acknowledge black women. If I hated women, I wouldn't acknowledge women at all. Like, come on. It's crazy. But you know, it's a journey. You know, it is a journey being a melanated indigenous man in America and realizing my own individual value. Because a lot of you have a lot of people out there in the world, they don't recognize your value. They don't. Sometimes you have to look within and validate yourself. If you can be genuine, you can be transparent, you have boundaries, you stand on morals, integrity, and respect. To me, that makes you a high value man. You stand on business. You are a man of your word. And that's who I am. You know, I don't switch up. How you see me here is exactly how you're going to see me in person. I don't front. I don't have time for that. I can't do that. That's too much energy. It's just not me. It's really not. But let's see. Like, what's what is another issue that men have? Oh yeah, on the subject of co-parenting, and I'm talking about this because I speak from experience. I know what this is like. I know the feeling. So, as it pertains to co-parenting, right? I personally feel that there shouldn't be child support. Child support to me is a fraud. And when you learn about that, you'll realize, yeah, child support is a fraud. But co-parenting, you have to be willing to co-parent. And with both parents, if you're not under the same roof, you have to learn how to respect each other. And not only respect each other, but if if your ex-husband or ex-boyfriend is with someone new, you have to learn how to have a level of respect for what he has going on, and vice versa. Gentlemen, you have to have a level of respect for that woman. Even though you and that woman are no longer together, you as a man have an obligation to hold yourself to a higher standard and show that, hey, I'm the father, but we can still co-parent and raise this child together. Boy, in American society, that shit is whack. I mean, co-parenting, some some parents can co-parent and get along perfectly fine and be the best of friends. But when I tell you, growing up, when it came to my dad, and I had to learn this on my own because me and my biological father, I wasn't raised up with him. I wasn't. But I had men around me to show me and teach me how to be the best man that I possibly can be. Because my mother, she's a woman. She can only do so much. And you know, she's not a man. She can only tell me the things that great men do. And it's up to me to mimic those actions and behaviors. But when I noticed the relationship between my mother and my father is real questionable. It's very questionable. Why is that? Because I could never get a straight answer out of neither one of them. Now, when it came to my mom, and I noticed a lot of this happens even in American society, especially in the melanated household, is if the mother is has sole custody or sole custody of the offspring, what happens is a lot of times mothers can be very, very bitter. They can be bitter, spiteful, vengeful, and a lot of things that you will say in front of that child will eventually start to program in that child's mind to the extent where that child becomes very disrespectful and very defiant towards the father. And that's what happened with me. I could stand, it was like for a long time, I couldn't stand my dad. You know, my dad would make promises to me and wouldn't keep them at times. I graduated and I was under the impression that man was going to show up at my graduation and he never showed up. You talking about someone, hmm, I did a lot of writing poetry growing up because poetry was like the means of me releasing what I kept bottled up. And then I became physically combative. Yeah, I became physically combative. The first time I was hurt, I was physically combative, y'all. And I won't lie. And I've been that way with it happened twice in my whole entire life that I physically put my hands on a woman. And it's funny because still to this day, one of my exes, whenever I go home and I happen to see her, I still apologize to her. And we haven't been together in it's been over 10 years, and I still apologize to her. But she understood because she was like, you know, I can't be mad with you because I have to hold myself accountable, Phil. I have to hold myself accountable because of the things that I did that was hurtful and it was disrespectful towards you. So technically, I was that trigger. I was that catalyst. I was that switch that caused you to become physically combative towards me. And even though she said those things, you know, it was like, you never want to be viewed in the public and in the public's eye as an abuser of women. I mean, and I know you all probably wonder, damn, Uncle Phil, why would you put your hands on a woman? Just really not schooled on what to do and how to have emotional intelligence, have enough intelligence to control your actions because you can't control anyone else's actions. You can only control yours. And I had to go through that. You know, I had to go through that experience. And like because I had to learn. You never put your hands on a woman. And if you do, you ask for forgiveness. You hold yourself accountable as a man. And that was something that I had to do. You know. Now the second time, look here. Not trying to put my business out like that, but you can you if you're my my ex, my ex boy, I'm Mika, Mika, and she knows who she is. I still ask for forgiveness, but Mika gave me a life scare. And what I mean by that is when you get a phone call from a doctor, from a clinic, when I tell y'all, when I tell you my heart dropped in my gut and I felt like the world was ending that very moment. When I got that call and I had to go to the clinic and see this doctor and go through this process. And even though he was just like, hey, don't worry, you're going to be fine. This too shall pass. We gonna get you right. So you don't have to worry about that anymore. My ex, she didn't even have the common decency to call me up and say, look, I did something behind your back that I shouldn't have done. And I mean, Mika, Mika knew. Mika knew I loved Mika. I really did. I loved her a lot that I wanted to change the life for her and her daughter. But she fucked it up. And Uncle Phil fucked it up. Because when I saw her, yeah, maybe that open hand slap and that push down the stairs wasn't the best thing for me to do at that point in time. And that's why I ask for forgiveness. Because I know I'm not perfect. Again, I'm transparent. I don't hide shit. I'm very, very transparent with people. So when I tell you I'm not perfect and I know I'm flawed and I work very hard on myself, trust me. But boy, and ever since then I was just like, nah, I'm good. I ain't playing. I'm not playing the radio. No, not doing this thing. But a lot of issues that men have, a lot of issues that men have is solely from the lack of experience, lack of teaching, proper teaching, because our parents call themselves giving us these conversations, these talks, but they really not talking about the shit that they really should be talking about. Like, what do you do if a woman is being physically combative and putting her hands on you? I've had one of those situations before. And I even had to sit down and, I had to talk with my mom about that. My mom was just like, my mother she'll be 81 this year. Shout out to my mom. I love her. I was like, even though we bump heads, from time to time, that is a woman that I will always love, you know. But it was like physically combative women. I'm not a fan of you all. I'm really not. Like, don't put your hands on them, man. And I can't, I just, this is one of those issues that modern women have is when you get so overly frustrated, you think it's okay to put your hands on a man. But then when the man reciprocates the same energy, he puts his hands on you, then suddenly he's wrong. He's a victim. You're a victim. Like where do we do that? Like, can we not keep our hands to ourselves? Like, I'm serious. I was like, keep your hands to yourself. And it's crazy because, you know, there are feminist women who think that coexisting in a world where there are no men, many of them are led to believe they're going to be protected. And I'm thinking to myself, like, how is a how is one woman going to protect another woman? Like how? I mean, yeah, you can have a gun, you take defense classes and all that. But like, what is the percentage of women who take defense classes compared to the number of women who have firearms? who know how to actually use it and protect themselves. When I tell you Uncle Phil had that experience too, yeah, shout out to Nicole. That was one of my other exes too. I had two Nicoles in my whole entire lifetime. One didn't cook, the other was a Leo, and she was a headache. The first Nicole, shout out to Nicole. She know who she is, aka Pocahontas. Pocahontas was a sweetheart, but Pocahontas couldn't cook. She was just pretty as fuck, but she didn't know how to cook. But shout out to her. Uh, the other Nicole, the Leo Nicole. Shout out to Nicole in Dallas, Georgia. You know who you are. I couldn't stand that Nicole. And it was weird because the Nicole that I couldn't stand, I fucked around, and got a tattoo on the back of my neck. I was like, why? Why? And even though I tried to get that joke covered up, Uncle Phil still got his shit back there. I had to get it properly laser removed. But in any case, I got a whole massive unk tattooed on my back. And my current wife, she sees that still on my back. And I just be like, she was like, why did you do that? I was like, because like me and my homeboy, we went out, had some damn drink, and all of a sudden I got in my feelings. I was talking about her and how much I miss her and how much I loved her. And that same night I went to the tattoo parlor with my homeboy Derek. Shout out D Nasty, you know what I'm saying, back in the AUG. Man, me and my homeboy we went to the tattoo parlor and we got tattoos that same night. I would never do that again. Never. Mm-mm. I would never get another woman's name tattooed on me unless it's my daughter. I'm like, I got my mother's name tattooed on me. I got my grandmother's name tattooed on me. I got an ex name tattooed on me that I wish I never got. I was like, the only other one that should be tattooed on me is either my first son or my firstborn daughter. But other than that, but it's like we do things thinking that we're showing the next person how much we love them. And a lot of times they don't even appreciate that shit. I ain't even gonna lie. My ex, she looked at me when I told her I got that, she looked at me like, really? Why would you do that? And at that point, she made me feel like, yeah, Phil, you made a real dumbass decision doing that. And it was written all over her face, you know. Anyway, you know, getting getting back to the topic at hand, right? And that's just modern women. To the modern women, hear me when I say this. We love you. We really do. Just a lot of your negative actions and behaviors we don't approve of. We, mm-mm, we don't. And why is it that you have to take us men through all of these fucking restrictions? Pardon my friend. But like, why is it you got to take men through all of these damn restrictions and shit? Like, we don't need. Like, why do we have to go through all these restrictions? And most of us men, we take a woman as she is. Like, we really do. We really do. See, as men, we don't have a whole lot of restrictions. We really don't. We have certain breaking points, but we don't have a whole lot of restrictions. See, when it comes to us men, we are very simple. Like, I ain't gonna lie. We're simple. We're not difficult. We're like shit. You feed a man, feed him, fuck him, leave him alone. Feed him, fuck him, leave him alone. You know what happens? When you feed and fuck the man and leave him alone, guess what's gonna happen? That man's going to end up bringing you flowers. When you feed and fuck a man, to my modern women, hear me when I say this. When you feed, fuck a man and leave him alone, guess what's going to happen? You're going to turn around and you're going to end up having a new car and you ain't even asked for it. Or even if you got a car, he's going to end up putting new tires on your car. Why? Because you feed him, fuck him, and you leave him alone. Simple as that. Feed him, fuck him, leave him alone, respect him. And so many doors will open up for you. So many things so many things a man would be willing to go above and beyond doing. But it's like you can slick fuck it up for yourself when you are not feeding him, not fucking him, not leaving him alone, and not respecting him. See, again, us men, we're very, very simple. I've never heard a man with an extensive, I've never heard a man say, well, I got a list of things. Oh, this woman, she has to be uh 5'5" or no shorter than 5'4". She has to have a Coke bottle frame. Her butt has to be medium size. Her chest has to be medium to a large. She has to have full lips or a slim nose. She can't have a fat nose. She can't have no fake hair. She got to have real hair. She can have short hair. We don't do all of that, lady. Come on now, we don't. We don't. There are some of us, man, we will take a chick who's lopsided, whose BBL is just lopsided. But guess what? If she feeds us, fucks us, leaves us alone, and respects us at the same time, we don't give a damn what any other guys say. We love her. And we'll take her. As long as she's doing right by us. See, ladies, you can't you can't say what you want to say, behave in the manner that you want to behave, and think a high value man is supposed to come and sweep you off your feet. No, man. Respectfully, wholeheartedly, and with love. Hell no, that shit is not going to happen. It's not. No. We just have to, American, melanated men and melanated women. We have to we have to work with each other. And a lot of our behaviors, negative behaviors, you have to change it. You have to change it. Because here's the thing. If you don't change it, what makes you think somebody else wants to deal with that shit? Like, seriously, think about it. What other man on the face of this planet would want to deal with a modern woman, regardless of how attractive you look? What makes you think that a high value man wants to deal with a negative acting, negative behaving female? We don't. And plus, if you're a headache, we most definitely don't want to deal with. So what the hell? It was like, shoot, some men here in America they end up getting unalived you know, by some women. And that shit's scary. Men get drugged, men get set up here in America. And I'm not, I can't talk about anywhere else, but I can say this much. Men can get drugged, men can get set up and robbed, even here in Atlanta. Pretty face, nice body. Don't take them home. Don't take them home, yo. But yeah. In any case, yeah, it's 5 in the morning over here, y'all. It is 5 in the morning. Five in the morning. Uncle Phil's still up smoking. Oh boy. I tell you. Yeah, Lord have mercy. How many of y'all out there? How many of you all actually do you smoke? Do you smoke cannabis? Anyone? Yeah, Uncle Phil, I just about in all of my videos, short, a lot of my videos I'm smoking. And I know people are probably like, he just don't care. He just smoke. It's like you all just don't know. Smoking cannabis keeps me so calm. My blood pressure don't even go up. Why? Because I smoke cannabis. Cannabis would actually save your life and save someone else's life. I was like, shoot, my wife, she didn't smoke like that. But you throw out some edibles or some THC drinks, boy, and she on it. She is on it. She is on it. But I can't say this much. I am so humble and I am so grateful that I found a woman that became my best friend. And that speaks volumes to me. As a man, for you, when a man finds a woman, he findeth a good thing. And I found that good thing in her. I love her so much. That's when I say I go broke behind this woman, I go broke behind this woman. And I don't feel bad. You know why? Because if I go broke, I already know there's one place that I can always come to and I could be happy. My money might be funny, but I know there's one place I can come and I can sit down and I could be at peace. And my wife will come in here. She might smoke with me. She might watch me play for a little bit and then she'll go off in her room. She gives me my time and my space. But then sometimes she can't stand it. She can't stand me when I'm not on my game and I'm not smoking. I'm like right there, right up under. And I know some chicks, they think, oh, he just too clingy. Nah, I love my woman. I love her. And any man can attest to that. If a man loves his woman, he's always going to want to be near her. It's like, shoot, me and my woman, me and my wife, we've been together coming close to 10 years now. 10 years. And a lot of people, they look at us and how we how we respond to each other, how we act is like, yo, I'm not even gonna front, y'all. It's like it's like we're teenagers. You know what I'm saying? It's like teenage love, you know. I was like, I've done so many great things with this woman, created wonderful, extraordinary memories with this woman. I went to Hawaii first time with this woman, went zip lining. Yeah, went zip lining. First time ever went zip lining with this woman. Went on my second cruise with this woman. It was her first time going. And we just created memories, you know what I'm saying? We created a lot of memories. And still are. But enough about me. Enough about me. I have one message before I end this live to my modern women. Stop fronting as if you don't like men. You don't love us. You do. It's a lonely world without men. And all men aren't bad. All men are not jerks, assholes, dickheads. A lot of us men, we're silly. We're goofy. We're charismatic. We're protective. But we're also loving at the same time. Stop pushing great men away because he may not meet your standard of what you are looking for in a man. Sometimes you got to realize that you may want a man who's 6'6", but that's not what the universe has lined up for you to receive. See, what the universe has aligned for you to receive, you keep pushing it away because you want what you want. And a lot of times it's not about what you want. It's about what the universe is trying to give you. So if you're fighting against the universe and you keep wondering why you keep attracting these ain't shit men, simple. The man that you have put into a friend zone, the one who listens to you talk about another man to him as if he wants to hear that shit, but he does it because he's your friend and he cares for you. Really deep down inside, he has feelings for you. He actually loves you. But you chose to put that man in a friend zone when that should not only be your best friend, but a friend that you should be taking a chance on dating to see where that relationship is actually going to go. Because you're fighting against the universe. That same man you put into the friend zone, here's the thing that I noticed. The one you put into the friend zone, when he stops chasing, he stops pursuing you and he pursues someone else, suddenly you get mad because he's with someone else. You may not verbally come out and say it, But deep down inside, when you see him with another woman and he's giving her similar energy that he was initially giving you, and you notice he's giving it to her and he's laying it on thick and she's loving it and he's happy, then suddenly you start feeling some kind of way. Because now that man you put in the friend zone is not, he's not accessible to you now. But the man that you are here pursuing, you trying to get him to choose you and you're trying to get him to make you number one, but he's really making you number 2, 3, or 4, then you feeling some kind of way. But these are the men you continuously keep attracting. Stop it. Look at the caliber of men that you have in your circle. Check them. Give them a try. Stop fighting against the universe, thinking you deserve or you are entitled. Hey, I feel as if I feel entitled to $9 billion. I feel entitled to $9 billion. But guess what? Am I getting $9 billion? Nope. Nobody's going to give it to me. You can have all of the entitlements in the world, baby, but if that's not for you, it's not for you. Just remember that. And remember, Uncle Phil loves you. That shit doesn't change. Not even a little bit. Good night. Rich rising. Wherever you may be. Remember, Uncle Phil loves you. All right. I'll tap in with y'all later. Peace and love.